Hello and welcome to the In News series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in today's episode we will be discussing about the topic of the GST collection hits record high. So in the month of April, the news has come up that this time there has been a record high, all-time high GST collection has been observed. So about the points of discussion, first about the news, then what is the reason for the surge in the GST collection, what is GST, GST Council, what has been the advantages of implementation of GST, and in the end prelims practice question. Topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 3, that is economics and specifically taxation portion, and PYQs when you will be analyzing, you will see that the questions have been asked from the GST. The news talks about GST collection hits record high of rupees 2.10 lakh crore in the month of April. So when we say in the month of April, it does not mean complete April, it means March also. So GST collection, that is the goods and services tax collection. So if we talk about the GST, so first of all it stands for the goods and services tax. So it means both goods and services are included in it, and it was included by the 101st Constitutional Amendment Act. 100th Constitutional Amendment Act goes for the land boundary agreement between India and Bangladesh. 101 is GST, 102 is the National Commission for Reserved Categories, 103 is that is OBC, 102, 103 is EWS 10% reservation. So 101 talks about the GST, and GST is a type of indirect tax. See, there are two types, direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax means income tax, cooperation tax, while on the other hand there is indirect tax which we directly do not pay to the government. So GST is an example of the indirect tax, and all the indirect taxes which were earlier separately a person has to give, now they were subsumed in one and it became the GST. So, and GST is, there are two types, that is CGST, that is the central GST, and there is SGST, that is the state GST, and then there is one more type, that is IGST, that is the integrated GST. It means that it belongs to, it is in regard with the import and export of items from one state to another state. So that is CGST, SGST, IGST. And if we talk about the GST, then there are different slabs in GST, like for example 0%, 5%, 12%, 18% and 28%. So these are the different slabs of GST. So let's see that what the news is all about. So if we talk about the gross goods and services tax collection, gross means overall without any deduction. So the gross GST collections rose around 12.4% to touch a record high of 2.10 lakh crore in the month of April. So gross, it means overall collection without any deduction, and this has been the highest collection of GST till date, and no pending dues to states on account of settlement of IGST. So this is also this also is a rarity, that no IGST dues are set as of now, and this is the highest level of GST collection recorded since the indirect tax reform came into being from the 101 Amendment Act, and this is the first time that the overall mop-up crossed rupees 2 lakh crore mark, and the previous highest was rupees 1.87 lakh crore. So first time it has crossed the 2 lakh crore mark. And few of the reasons about the increase in the GST collections. First of all, this was the end of the financial year, that is from April to end of May. So this was the March collection was also included in it. So this was the end of financial year. So at the end of the financial year, the settlements which are done from the businesses side are also high in number, and then a 13.4% year on year higher domestic transactions was also recorded. It means the domestic transaction, it means the normal people also made more number of transactions. Higher compliance in the backdrop of anti-evasion measures and audits taken by authorities. So many measures has been taken with regard to stoppage of the tax evasion, and in this regard many audits were also done by the government, which has increased the tax compliance and which has resulted in the increase of the number or increase in the amount of the tax. So there is improvement in GST compliance by businesses. So more and more number of businesses are also being registered on the GST platforms. And if we talk about the state-wise data, so that state-wise data has also come up. So out of the 38 states or union territories, 19 states UTs have recorded higher growth as compared to the national average. So national average is of 12.4% growth, and there are 19 states and union territories which has recorded higher growth than the national average of 12.4%. And if we talk, then on the top of it is Maharashtra, which is followed by Karnataka, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. Then in comparison to these states, the northeastern states have registered a contraction in GST collection. So 19 states have registered a growth which is more than the national average, and the states which have registered a contraction, northeastern states are among those states. Now about the goods and services tax. So the GST bill was first introduced in the year 2014 through the 122 amendment bill. It is not act, it is the 122 amendment bill. It is 101 amendment act in the year 2016. Central GST, state GST and IGST, these are the three different types. Central GST covers taxes like excise duty, service tax, while state GST covers like VAT, luxury tax, etc. And if we talk about the IGST, which is the integrated GST, so it covers the interstate trade. So this is not a tax but a system to coordinate states and union taxes. So state GST, CGST, that is the central GST, and IGST, which is the integrated GST. And the article 246A of the Indian Constitution talks about states have power to tax goods and services. So states also have the power to tax goods and services. This has been given under article 246A. Now one of the most important portions from the GST from which the questions can come, that is the GST Council. So article 279A talks about that GST Council is formed by the President. So it is the President of India which forms the GST Council to administer and govern the goods and services tax. And who is the chairman of the GST Council? It is the Union Finance Minister of India. And then ministers are nominated by the state governments as its member. So Union Finance Minister of India with ministers nominated by the state governments. These are the people who are member of the GST Council. Then the voting patterns or the voting power. So both state and center have the voting power in the GST Council. So the center will have 1/3 voting power while the states will have 2/3 voting power. So the center and the state both have a role to play in with regard to the decisions which are taken by the GST Council in regard with the goods and services tax. So both center and states have a role to play, and the decision is taken by the 3/4 majority. So the decision, the GST Council, whatever decision the GST Council takes, so the majority or the numbers has to be 3/4 majority. So this is about the GST Council. And the questions which you can also expect from the GST is like, what are the changes that has been made in the GST? Like for example, with regard to products, changes are always made that certain products are being shuffled from one slab to another slab, or certain products get included and certain products get excluded. Like for example, you should know about the air turbine fuel or tobacco or alcohol or gold, and then you should also be very much aware about the concept of how the value addition is being done, as GST is also considered to be a value added tax because it is about the addition that one entity is doing over the other, and that is how it is called a value added tax. It is not that whatever the manufacturer has done on which the tax will be applied. So it is a value added tax. Like for example, if we are buying a product which is worth rupees 1000, then imagine the first entity which makes it first do it for the 500 rupees, then it goes to the second entity, and then they include a value addition does to it of rupees 200. So it is not that they have to pay the tax on everything, but they have to pay on the amount the which has been with regard to the value addition. Then it goes to the third entity, and then they do it for 700 plus 300, and then in the end it becomes the 1000 rupees. So the third entity will give the tax on the value addition of 300 rupees. So this is how it is called a value addition tax. Now few of the advantages with regard to the GST is that it has created a unified common market. So earlier different taxes were being paid, there was no one single tax, but now GST has subsumed all the taxes and now people will have to pay only one tax, that is GST. It is an indirect tax and that can be in the form of CGST and SGST. Then streamline taxation, because now a single tax is being, a person will have to pay a single tax. So the multiple channels through which earlier things used to pass, now it has been streamlined. Increase tax compliance, because different measures are being taken so that more and more tax are being paid by the people and tax evasion gets reduced, and audits are being organized by the government so that tax evasion cannot be done. Then discourage tax evasion in the form of audits and also launching many of the schemes. So these are few of the advantages which the country has experienced since the time GST has been implemented. Now in the end, a prelims practice question, and you people will give me the answer in the comment section. So the GST was added by which amendment act? 100th, 101, 102 or 103 Constitutional Amendment Act. I think an easy one. We have discussed this in this video and this is a very basic question which you should know. So give me the answer in the comment section, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.